are here. No sugar, no cream. Got an excellent podcast for you today. It is Tuesday, the 14th. Tax is due tomorrow, so if you procrastinator like me, you know, got my laptop downstairs ready to get started on that, knock that out. But hope everybody is having a good week and enjoying themselves. It's been really beautiful here in Nashville. The weather's been nice and cool. Starting to get getting a little warm. And Tim, how you feeling? How you doing over there?
Good. I'm just trying to make sure the technical stuff is working.
Tim is also the producer of No Sugar, No Cream here since we fired Bob. You know,
and we're streaming in all 5 channels.
We're looking good. Something is bound to fall apart. So
yeah, last time we didn't stream on the Tim Wolf. So for whatever reason, it didn't.
Things happen. Things happen here in the world when we'll do it live. We'll do it live. Have you heard that before? It's from like a football. No, is that a basketball player or something? A coach is yelling, "We'll do it live." I don't know the exact reference, but I've seen the video clip of it.
Ooh, okay, but, so I have checked. We have audio from both of our mics on YouTube, and we are on all 5 channels. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Tim can breathe a sigh of relief, and I will now throw the mic into the water.
Woo!
Watch as I now dip this mic into Tim's coffee.
You learn from things that have gone wrong. I mean, we did an entire 45-minute, 50-minute podcast it was all like this.
We are good.
No audio, and
we are very good at doing our thing when things are going wrong, because we don't have no idea things are wrong.
And last week, we're supposed to go live on 5 channels. In case you don't know, just a laundry list of the channels we're going live on.
Out of control.
We are going live on Instagram, the Tim Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
We're going live. Follow us. And if you follow us on No Sugar, No Cream, we don't have enough followers on there to go live on No Sugar, No Cream.
We got to hit 100 there on Facebook.
And so we're on YouTube, the Tim Wolf, and No Sugar, No Cream. And so let's see, that's 3. We're on my personal Tim Walter Facebook, and what am I missing? So 2 YouTubes, 2 Facebooks. So the Tim Wolf Facebook and Tim Walter Facebook, and then Instagram, the Tim Wolf. And we would like to, I think it's only right that we would segue to doing No Sugar, No Cream on all of those channels, but we don't have enough followers. So if you go over to our Facebook No Sugar, No Cream page and follow it, so we get to 100, and then we can start doing live on that. So that's what we're thinking.
You know, I'm going to be soon starting No Sugar, No Cream cookbook.
Yes,
watch that on YouTube.
Chef Seth.
I haven't had a lot of fun baking. I haven't made anything here in the last couple days, but last thing I made was sugar cookies. I got sugar cookies down pretty good. That's fun to make. If you ever made sugar cookies, the thing I was doing wrong right away, I noticed, was that the cookies were spreading out. Like, I just cook them for 6 minutes, but they would spread out real thin. And then I ran across some directions to fix that problem. You throw them in the fridge for 10 minutes, and that stops them from getting really flat. You end up with really nice chunky cookies. They're not going to melt as much, and you just leave it. I just add 2 minutes to use it for 8 minutes, and got me some good sugar cookies. So when Tim's writing partner comes over anytime, and I'm unloading all our cookies or whatever I've made on him, so I don't eat too many of them, because it's pretty easy to. But I think my favorite thing lately to make was the meatloaf. I really enjoy meatloaf. Nothing like your mom's old meatloaf back in the day. Not the meatloaf's old, but it's an old thing that you got to have meatloaf back in the day. Love me some meatloaf. with some corn, mashed potatoes.
She probably used the same recipe that my mom used. Her
Probably.
mom.
Probably.
I mean, in case you didn't know, this is my nephew, and his mom is my sister.
Yeah, not nephew. Nephew.
Nephew, yes. It's my nephew. So I had some interesting fun travels over the weekend.
And now it's time for the traveling expeditions of Tim Wolf. Tim?
So I went to Atlanta.
It's like that we rehearsed
on Friday.
You're like,
drove on Atlanta. It's about a 3.5 hour drive from Nashville.
oh, it's only 3.5?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was longer than that.
I invited you, and you said no. You didn't want to come. The drive was too long. I'm not gonna.
Well, you're just doing one night, and there was no reason for me to really come.
So I had been all my life. I have since I was a little kid, and Lowell Lundstrom was an evangelist that came through. If you're from South Dakota, Minnesota, North Dakota, and you're of a certain age, and you probably know who Lowell Lundstrom was. He was an evangelist, and he started out playing in honky tonks, playing country music, and then he became a Christian, and he decided to only do Christian stuff. But he was very musical, and he came to our church back in the day when he was still small enough that he would come to smaller churches. Later on, he would only do huge auditoriums where we'd have different. And then he also became in charge of the Trinity Bible College for a while. He was the top person, the president, whatever the top person of a university is. Anyway, I remember I was a young kid. I was probably single digits in age. And he came to church, and I remember seeing a guitar on the stage. And as a very young kid, I don't even think I'd started playing guitar yet. But I fell in love with that guitar that was on the stage. And there's a very distinguishing feature of that guitar that it has a pad in the back, has a snap-on pad in the back. And there's only one model of guitar that did that, and that's a Gretsch 6120 from 62 on to maybe 69. Because what happened, they used to have F-holes. Chet Atkins, it was a Chet Atkins model. And there would be feedback, if you know about holes in the body, and then at high volumes it feeds back. So starting with 62, they painted on the F-holes. And so they're not actual holes. But you still have to get to the inside of the body to do the electronics. So they cut a hole in the back, and then they covered it with a pad. And I just thought that was the coolest, most luxurious thinking thing. And I think, as I said in a previous podcast, my buddy would always say, well, I would talk about, I want one of those guitars, but he said it's a very distinctive sound. It's really only rockabilly. I mean, Brian Setzer is famous for using that, and he's a phenomenal guitar player, or country. And then I saw an article, I think I said this last podcast or the one before, I saw an article where Randy Bachman from Big BTO, Bernard Bachman Turner Overdrive, and then he also played with Guess Who, Canadian guitar player. He's still alive. He's in his 70s. An article, I was listening to some BTO, and I'm like, man, I don't even know what guitar Randy Bachman played. And I looked it up, and his number one guitar that he played for all those hits was a Gretsch 6120. And I was like, yeah, it can be used for rock. So I started looking for them, and the best ones are the early 60s. Then they started changing the pickups, and you can get a 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, but they changed the pickups, and they don't have that wonderful sound. So I got a 62, and they had it in Atlanta at the Big House Guitar Place, which was a cool, not a chain like Guitar Center, but it was a locally owned. You could tell, and they had a lot of vintage gear there, and the guys working there knew their stuff. And I went there. Unchained.
You said it was a chain. No, it wasn't a chain.
No, it's not a chain. So I think Unchained. They only have one.
Welcome to our Unchained location. Guitar shop.
Oh, we have a comment. That's just a comment from the app. It says never miss a comment. So we don't have a comment. We only have a comment from the app.
We have.
Anyhow, so I went to Atlanta and I played the guitar, and then I left for a while, went to Waffle House, got my computer out, and I started researching. And I'm like, should I really get this guitar? Because now it's a buyer's market. You know, inflation, everything's so expensive, and people are selling stuff and nobody's buying stuff. So prices have come down a lot. And whereas this guitar probably was about $1,000 more, now it's $1,000 cheaper than it was. So I went and played it, and if you allow me, I'd like to show it to the viewers.
We are just out of time. No, of course, get that guitar.
So let me get it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's pretty exciting that you got this new guitar. I know. You posted. I think wasn't that on Instagram? No. You posted a video that you had gotten it. Yeah. So yeah, so I saw that new. You got a new. If you decide to use this guitar as a pillow, there is a good chance that your strings will become untuned.
So this is a Gretsch 62, Gretsch 6120, and it has the pad in the back. Now, I don't think this pad is original equipment, because the original equipment, everyone I've ever seen, was black. But I think they probably wear out or get lost. I mean, this is a 65-year-old guitar, and I've seen other ones for sale with no pad. So somebody probably made this pad. It's usually black, but this is really cool. It goes with it. And it's got a lot of really cool marbling in it, in the wood. Now, these guitars were famous for the plastic trim. They used the type of plastic that didn't have longevity. It would off-gas, they call it, and then it would become brittle and crumble. And you can see right here, I don't know if you can see this, there's a trim missing, about a 4-inch piece that just fell out, because that was a problem with the materials they used back there. In fact, if you find a 60s Gretsch 6120 that doesn't have some problems with that, you need to be careful, because that probably isn't a legit, it's probably a reproduction, a forgery. So you look for that, because that material they used was, for whatever reason, not good quality. It would off-gas, they say, and it would become brittle, and then it would break away. So I don't know. I'm probably going to have this replaced, because it really weirds me out when I'm playing it and I look down and I see that. If it was on the other side, maybe not. But for the most part, the rest of it looks pretty good. So my 6120.
Yeah, it's an amazing color.
So yeah, I am excited. The Bigsby and the I got my ring on. I can't play with my pinky ring on. Anyway,
or is that a certain style that makes it? I mean, guitars that big of a guitar. What's that style that? I mean, I feel like.
Well, it was made for country. Chet Atkins, the country gentleman. It was it was Chet Atkins endorsed it. In fact, the pickguard, which is also made from bad plastic, so it broke. It's in the case. It has Chet Atkins' signature on it, because Chet Atkins, it was a Chet Atkins model. If you know Chet Atkins, a country guy. Then he went over to Gibson, because he got discouraged with their quality, Gretsch quality. So it's more of a country or rockabilly kind of a guitar. You know, Randy Bachman used it for rock, you know, so I'm going to use it for some blues. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I love it, Tim. I'm glad
you
got a good deal on it, too.
Yes, I did. I did.
Nice.
Now it's a buyer's market for vintage guitars right now. You know, economy, everything's so expensive, and people don't have the money for things, wants and not needs. I mean, it's a want, it's not a need. I don't need this to stay alive or to eat, or, you know, but it's a want, something I've wanted all my life, and now I have one. So I'm going to get it professionally set up, and then we'll see. It might become my number one guitar. I really love the way it sounded when I played it to the amp that they had there, and so it has a wonderful sound, a very unique sound. So Gretsch 6120 from 1962. Oh, and then because, okay, the Beatles, I should have brought that out. Yeah, definitely it wasn't just a country guitar because George Harrison played one in the Beatles, and when they were on the on television, Ed Sullivan show in the '64. They were on the Ed Sullivan show twice, and he was playing a Gretsch 6120, and that all the kids, all the young guitar players were watching that show. There's a whole bunch of people that if you listen to, they say, I decided to become a musician. I decided to become a guitar player because I saw the Beatles play. And everybody wanted the guitar that George Harrison was playing, and suddenly Gretsch couldn't keep up. That was after '64. And maybe they started, their quality started going down because they had difficulty keeping up. I'm not sure. But that's kind of the history. He was playing a 6120, this exact same model. And so I don't know which year he was playing, but he was playing an early 60s 6120. And I love the color. Orange is one of my favorite colors. And it's got some wonderful marbling here. It's not matched. That's one of the reasons my buddy said that he didn't think it was legit because he's never seen one of these with such beautiful marbling. That's usually high-end wood. But like the guys at Big House Guitar said, well, if they were going to do a fake, they would have done a bookend where both sides look the same. This side has great marbling and this side doesn't. So if they're going to fake it, because if you see beautiful Les Pauls or whatever, it's usually a bookend where they take the wood, cut it down the middle, and then open it like a book and so they match right down the middle, the line they match. And
now I see what you're saying a lot better on the light right there.
So there's beautiful,
still looks fantastic, but
marbling over here, but there isn't much over here.
Yeah.
So if you're going to fake that, you would make them match. So my buddy was concerned that he's never seen an older Gretsch with this kind of marbling. And when I talked to the guys at Big House Guitars, of course, they're trying to sell me a guitar, but I trusted them. You know, you get that initial feel for if you can trust someone. And it was on consignment anyway. They didn't own it. They were just selling it on consignment for somebody. So they didn't have a dog in the hunt of whether or not it sold or not. I mean, they get a commission if it sells, of course. But they said they've seen a lot of vintage guitars with mismatched wood, and even a gold top, a beautiful marbling underneath the gold top, which would be a waste of a gold top because you put paint over it. And if it has beautiful marbling, you would just put clear coat on it and use that marbling. So they didn't think about those things back then when they made those guitars. So they said they have zero qualms about its authenticity. So that makes me feel good. You never know.
Your guitar will be loved in this house. So feel free to send all your guitars to P.O. Box. What's your P.O. Box in? That's cool. Yeah, you got a nice collection. Each guitar tells a little bit of a story. I mean, we could do a podcast for probably several months just on each of your guitars.
Sure, yeah, we could. So, and then the next day, the real reason I went there was a sync event, Sync Spotlight, where in sync is SYNC, not sync like kitchen sink, synchronized to film.
No matter how many jokes I've made about it.
So that's a use for music, like a film or a commercial or a TV show. Music is very important to set the mood, typically. And although a friend of mine recently told me that she just saw No Country for Old Men, and I haven't seen it in a long time. It came out like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Remember No Country for Old Men?
Mm-hmm.
A Coen Brothers film. She said there was absolutely no music in that film. And I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't recall. But music isn't. But the Coen Brothers would do that. The Coen Brothers do things outside. They're not working together anymore. They stopped working together as a team. They did things like The Big Lebowski and No Country for Old Men. Fargo was a Coen Brothers movie. They did a whole bunch of them, and very quirky. They break the rules, and not having any music. And I'd have to watch that again and pay attention. I don't remember. I do remember the acting was so great. You still were very scared.
I feel like we talked about this. Really, I think they might have just got back together and
did they?
I feel like here,
Coen Brothers.
I'll Google it. But I feel like, but yeah, they weren't working for a while, but then they just had to come back.
So anyhow, this was a sync event where you go, and as a musician, you try to learn about sync, and there are music supervisors and sync agents there to try to help you get your music synced. And they had a listening panel where you could submit your song and they'd listen to your song. And I decided, let's go all out as bluesy as possible. I submitted a song off my new album called Going to Chicago. And they played the first 30 seconds of it. And if they like it, they'll one of them can hit a button and it'll continue playing. But if they don't like it, with some people's songs, they didn't hit the button, and so I didn't keep playing. Well, I did get the button. I don't remember how many hit it, but somebody hit the button, so it kept playing. And then I got great comments on it. And then I had a couple people DM me afterwards telling me how great they love the song, which is unusual. I mean, I think I was very happy for that. People liked the song. And, it's the first time that the public has heard any music from my new album. My new album, Raised in South Dakota, which will be released on July 24th. And I'm taking a pre-sale now. You can buy the vinyl. It's a double vinyl album. It's got 64 minutes of music, over 60 minutes of music, double vinyl. And I'll put a link down below if you're interested in that pre-sale. Get it before it sells out, or you can get the CD. And pretty excited about that. And I was very excited to hear the positive response from the music that will be on one of the songs that'll be on that album. So
cool. Well, okay, so the Coen brothers, but like you said, they split up and were doing their own movies the last couple years. Ethan Coen is doing Honey Don't, which released last year, and Joel Coen, which I don't even know their first name is. You just used to hearing the Coen brothers. I don't know their first name at all. Jack of Spades is coming out, American Gothic mystery film written that hasn't come out yet, I don't think, but that's the one that Joel Coen's doing. But then their plan is after that though to come back for a horror movie that they want to do together, I guess. So that's good to hear. So maybe they didn't really have. Did you hear that they had a falling out, or maybe they just split up to do their own thing for a little bit?
There was nothing that they had a falling out.
Rumors, I mean,
there was,
okay, good.
No,
good.
I did not hear anything that they had a falling out. I mean,
but there's probably always that rumor, of course.
I mean, it's like, okay, I worked with my producer for, we put out 5 albums together, and
well, yeah, you like a change, yeah.
I thought, well, let's try something different. Let's do something a little bit different. I mean, he did a fine job. I mean, one of them charted on the Billboard charts. Born in South Dakota, charted on the Billboard charts. So, I mean, he's doing a great job, right? So, but I just decided I want to try something different. So, go a different direction. Expand my wings a bit and try something different. No mark on him. And I told him we'll work again in the future. But just trying something different things, different ways of doing things. And so when it comes to creative stuff, any change you make in your process and your collaborators is going to be some kind of a change in the end result. And if you want to explore that, I mean, I think you should. If you're a creator, if you're an artist or a creator, try different things. You never know till you try.
If they only did one movie each, that definitely showed that they were, hey, man, I missed my brother's input. So
maybe,
I don't know if
could
they
be,
did
could
or
be.
not.
I don't know.
But I don't know what their last movie was. But yeah, but the dude abides. We got a little
Dude
figure.
abides.
Tim finally watched that movie.
So somebody asks you. So anybody asks you how you're doing, you can respond with a quote from The Big Lebowski. So ask me how I'm doing.
Tim, how are you doing?
Oh, strikes and gutters, ups and downs, but the dude abides.
Which he doesn't really say it until
that's the only time he says that, but it's one of the most famous lines from the movie.
He says it to that one actor. I always forget his name, real old guy.
He says it, Sam, the handlebar mustache.
Yes. He did a little cameo in a movie clip during Sabrina Carpenter's was it toward the end of her set? There was like 3 different cameos.
Sam Tennyson. No, what is his name? Sam. Famous. He's always wearing we got the beautiful handlebar mustache. He wears a cowboy hat and deep baritone voice. And he plays the stranger. They don't even give a name in the movie. He's just the stranger, and he narrates much of the movie.
Sam Elliott.
Elliot. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, I probably told you that. I mean, I'm loving him, and with he was in this season of Landman with
He played the dad. He
played the dad.
Played the
Amazing.
dad.
So good.
Kevin Costner's
like,
dad, right?
It brought all the heartwarming. Not Kevin Costner. It's from Arkansas. He's from
Oh yeah, Billy
yeah,
Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton. And it just brought all the heart. He brought all the heart. Like every heartwarming scene had something to do with him, and he's amazing. Funny too. Like he has a sitcom on Netflix that he did with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that show. I wish there was some spinoffs of that. Very much like a cowboy movie, a cowboy movie, a farmer movie, a show, and it had a lot of heart. It was like a good, like, it was a step above a sitcom in a way, or not. Yeah, like
Eric just commented, it's a good show,
a fantastic show. The Ranch is what it's called. Really enjoyed that one. But then the Landman done 2 seasons now. They just set up for a 3rd season, and it will definitely get greenlit for a 3rd season if it's not already greenlit. In fact, we have a show we got to get back to watching. I've just been putting off, let them stack a couple up before we start watching it again. But out right now is Friends and Neighbors. Oh, you already knew.
No, well, yeah, I knew you were talking about.
Oh, you know what I was about to say.
Yeah, Friends and Neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's like 3 or 4 episodes out right now. So
we have to binge watch and get.
Yeah. We just got to get. We probably would have watched it, but I just got to get it with Apple, which is well worth. I haven't had Apple in quite a while. So what's nice if you have it with all these, like you could just get one for a month and just binge all this new stuff that you haven't been able to watch. And the Apple is one of those that, like, usually a month, less than a month, I can watch everything that I haven't watched on Apple, and then like not get it for another year. And then there's usually a few good movies on there. But the Apple is rated kind of one of the most loved, like consistent with their shows. And I've watched a number of shows.
I agree.
On there
I think they're a level above, no hate, but level of Netflix. Netflix is hit or miss. Although I do believe their quality has gotten better recently. But they seem to, at least for years, my opinion, everybody has their opinion. And my opinion is that they were just satisfied with just good enough, putting out lots of content, a lot of films. But now, they have, they even have, they have a lot of good shows. So they're expanding. But for a while there, I'd turn on a Netflix show, and I'm like, I wouldn't even get through it. How many times have you seen a show that you saw me 1/3 of the way through and I opted out?
Part of the issue is too that everything can be jumbled in with the good stuff, can be jumbled in with the bad stuff a lot of times. So the hard thing is, like, I think Netflix does have more good shows than anybody else, but there's so much on there. There's a lot of bad stuff too, which can be popular for some people too. They got something for everybody, and they do all these different languages too, which the dubbing is getting better and better. They have it. I'm ready for just to take that corner where they start matching the lips perfectly, because they can go in there with the CGI and just change it.
And it seems like they purposely, in some of these foreign films, because they know it's going to be overdubbed, it seems to me that they film it in such a way that you can't see their lips moving. Like the one character will be walking in front of the camera and you see the back of their head and you can hear the dialogue, and the other person is listening and you see their reaction. But the
you brought that up
moving,
and I was like, you're totally right. As soon as you said that,
and that makes it less noticeable when it's overdubbed, because the lips, you don't even see the lips. If you don't pay attention to that, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Because if your cinematography is good, you can cut in certain ways that you don't really notice it. That Like, for example, you can have the person that's being spoken to, you can show them listening to it, and then when they're speaking, you can show the other person hearing their side. Versus, like, I'm talking now, focus on you while I'm talking, and then when you answer me, focus on me. And it's a subtle thing, and I don't know if it's purposeful, but I think it may be purposeful. Like in these smaller countries, smaller markets, and they know it's going to get overdubbed, and I think they might purposely make that choice in the editing and the cinematography. That's
Yeah,
my
because
theory.
nobody likes bad dubbing. It should never be go the way, and it's sometimes frustrating.
My buddy Jimmy cracks me up. Remember back used to be kung fu movies that were overdubbed, and the lips were so far away because they're speaking Chinese, and he would crack up his entire family because he could do that, and while he's speaking, and I don't know, that takes a skill, because I don't know, I can't really do that. And he's got some talent that he could do that, pretend like he's in a kung fu movie that has bad lip syncing, and it would crack me up every time.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, like, dub movies can a lot of times I'll just skip any dubbed movies, but then you couldn't skip out on the movie coming out of South Korea by that went crazy and everybody was watching Squid Games, so I had to watch Squid Games, and man, you get into that quickly, and it's dubbed really well, and then the storyline is so amazing that you forget it's dubbed. It's just well.
There's
done.
some phenomenal entertainment values coming out of Korea. The K-pop, I mean, that's top notch. But
there's still a couple movies I haven't watched.
People that are in K-pop, the artists, they're in. It's like a boot camp. They are treated so rigorously. They learn to dance and they have to look a certain way. And it's not for the faint of heart, based on the articles I've read, but they get the results. I mean, South Korea is a small country. South Korea has, I think, about 30 million people, so it is less than 1/10 the population of the U.S. But if you go on a per capita base, they're punching way above their weight in the world of entertainment. Because
Psy killed it over 10 years ago. You got to open the door. Super loved. And then he even did a song with Snoop Dogg, and he had several big hits. But then he's never stopped being popular in South Korea. So it's like, oh, he fell off. I'm like, no, he went crazy, worldwide, phenomenal. I don't think you can sustain that. Even the A-listers and big musicians, like, there's only a few people up there, like Justin Bieber and like those kind of people that can just keep that sustainability just because they're bigger than life. But which he did a set. Some people didn't like it, others did. I quite enjoyed it. I stayed up and watched the whole thing. It was late Friday. Justin Bieber did his set, and some people didn't like it. Well, he was mostly going to just do his 2 albums because he sold, for 200 million, he sold like all his tracks. So that doesn't do him any good to sing songs that he doesn't even own anymore. But he was doing his 2 albums, but then he went over to his laptop and he pulled up his old songs, and it didn't bother me. He just sang along to YouTube to the music videos of a bunch of his old songs, and the widget was almost tear jerking. He went and sang along to his original YouTube songs, 1 or 2 of them that he originally posted that got him discovered. That was kind of crazy to see him singing along with like the songs that like him as a little kid posted. And then he even made fun of himself where the paparazzi, he was upset at the paparazzi, and he said the lines, "It isn't clocking to you. I'm not the one," which is funny. And if you're a fan of his at all, you think about this. You're not the one. Wait a second. You have a song that says, "I am the one." And which that didn't get lost on him. He quickly jumped to that song and played that song and laughed about it. But So that kind of annoyed somebody, but it was like, no, what do you want from him? You want his vocals. I don't need any backup singers. I was like, oh, no, the thing that's going to frustrate you, I know, of course, you want a live band, but I'm there for his lyrical, like his amazing lyrics. So I was not disappointed in one bit, and I think the majority of the fans just really enjoyed it.
I do want to point out you're not being consistent, because I know you disagree, but we saw Post Malone when he first broke, and that's basically what he was doing. And you waited an hour and a half to get to the front of the stage, and you left because he was singing to his original songs.
That had to do with his conversation. He wanted, he said nothing other than, "You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome." He never said more than one sentence, if even a sentence, between every single song.
That was why you didn't like it?
Yeah.
I thought you liked it because he was singing to his songs. He was singing to his songs. They weren't even backing tracks. They were just the original songs.
But I think he had a guitar. He still played.
Not for most of it. But
the main issue, I might have mentioned that, but no, the main issue by far was that he ticked me off that he had no stage presence, like you get, like what you got with oh my gosh, one of my favorite, Hobo Johnson. His stage presence is amazing. He's making everybody laugh in the crowd, saying jokes and stuff. He never said one sentence other than, "You guys are awesome." He said literally the same one line between every song. And after hearing it 7 times in a row, I was just done. It was just like, he made no effort. It didn't seem like he wanted to be there. It seemed like he was probably high. So it just, that really put me off. But no, Justin Bieber, he interacted pretty good with the people. He had three guests come on. He did three songs with guests. But yeah, of course, I think Post Malone has gotten a lot better. Like,
there is a thing that they're saying that used to be the way you got discovered. You had to be playing in clubs and bars, and you had to, get the experience playing in front of an audience. And by the time you got a record deal, you'd played probably 1,000 gigs, and you got experience to do their crowd control or crowd work and working with the crowd and doing. Nowadays, you can get discovered on YouTube and suddenly get a record deal, and you have zero experience playing in front of a crowd. And that was Post Malone. He had zero experience for the most part.
Had he not done any traveling before that? I was wondering if it was partially
generations before,
yeah,
for sure.
Of course, you're so right though. Just in general, you can get thrown out there in front of and not have any traveling experience at all. Yeah,
no experience.
But I definitely felt like too that he was.
The minor leagues, the development leagues don't exist. I've read articles on this where they say the venues are closing. It's really hard for a smaller venue to survive, and there's fewer and fewer venues. And it's harder for artists to come up that way and to get that experience playing live in front of people. And it shows. A lot of these artists, they break out. They don't have any experience playing live shows, and it shows. Their skills in that area are low. And I think Post Malone was Exhibit A in that. That's my personal opinion. But he has since, he's been at the top for 10 years now. How long has it been since he broke out?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
It's been a while, so he's gotten really good at it. I mean, we saw him at. He was on TV for New Year's Eve. Wasn't he on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I think so.
Nashville, because now he's done the country album, and he had great stage presence. I mean, he's certainly learned. He's certainly. I mean, there are coaches to help you with that. I think that's the issue. That's my personal opinion. He had no experience at that time.
We got to go to another. We haven't been to any live music in a little bit.
Well, we got one coming up. It's like a week away or 2 weeks away.
Yours coming up, right?
No.
Oh, that
Marcus King.
Is that the first? Well, yeah, I guess May is almost here, huh? A couple weeks away.
Is that in May or April? I forget. I thought it was April.
I think it is April. Wait, I just pulled the ticket.
I think it's April 27th. We're going to see Marcus King.
That was on Ticketmaster, wasn't it?
April 27th. I think it's April 27th, isn't it?
It is May 27th.
May 27th. Okay.
So a month and
a couple weeks away.
A couple weeks away. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking. I would have guessed it was at the beginning of the month. Okay. Blue Tour. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's great. Kind of. He's been on Kill Tony a couple times, and then I saw him at a bowling alley. He was playing with a bunch of people, so I'm looking forward to seeing like. I mean, this is going to be him. I think he was just kind of playing along with people. This is going to be more like him doing his thing, of course. And this is going to be good size audience too. This is
well, the auditorium. I think
the
Metropolitan Auditorium. It's probably bigger than the Ryman, but it's not as big as Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah. Right.
It's not Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah, I saw. Okay.
Bridgestone Arena is about 20,000, 19,500 roughly. Ryman is about just over 2,000.
Yeah, I went to a karate UFC fight at it was at this one. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know it existed until I went there. I was like, "Oh, this is a nice spot." And RFK showed up when I was there. That was like a couple. What was that? Last year or the year before. But
okay, so the Nashville Municipal Auditorium has a total capacity of 9,654 to 9,700 people. So it's not halfway, but it's between the Ryman and Bridgestone Arena.
Okay, so I was thinking Bridgestone, so our seats are even going to be better than I think. We'll probably be closer than I think, just because I'm thinking Bridgestone.
It's going to be half the size of Bridgestone.
Yeah.
Bridgestone's like 20,000.
Yeah, that will be exciting.
Let me check my...
Check your what?
Check my numbers.
Oh, yeah.
20,000. Yep. I had it right.
They're building the new stadium over there. I guess I think still one more year. I think to finish it up. I think it's not ready in the fall. I think one more year, but I think it's coming together pretty well. The new Tennessee Titans new stadium. I think they'll just end up tearing down the old one. I think. I'm not really sure what to put there. Maybe just parking or whatever. But Nashville has a basketball great place to be. They got a baseball team. I haven't got around to making it to the baseball.
It's going to be demolished. The old Nissan Stadium is scheduled to be demolished beginning in spring of 27. 27-year-old structure.
Okay.
So I've been to a few games there, and I thought it was a nice new modern stadium.
I know. I know. It was.
I don't understand. Why do we need to replace this stadium? And here's what AI says. AI summary. It's a 27-year-old structure deemed too costly to renovate due to aging infrastructure and flood air risks will be torn down. Okay.
So there's
it's aging. It's too old.
Yeah, it's just old. But I wonder if there are issues. There could be issues, and they just don't want to talk about them. There could be some.
Well, there are people complaining. Why do we need a new arena? It's a lot of money. The city's putting up all this money. Whenever a sports team gets a new arena or a new stadium, the city puts up a whole bunch of money, and so all the taxpayers are paying for it. And do we really need all these? Okay, I'm a stick in the mud. I don't know, but do we really need another stadium? Of course, I'm not a huge football fan. I don't know the difference. The games I went to, I thought, man, this is a really cool stadium. And I remember because after I got tickets when we went, I got tickets for my buddy Jimmy, and because he's a Colts fan, when he came down and we watched the Colts play, and a couple years ago. And the guy called me afterwards wanting to sell me more tickets, the guy from the Titans. And he called me literally. Talk about salesman. I only had bought 3 tickets. I bought Jimmy and his brother. and they were like nosebleed seats way up there. So there were no premium seats being purchased here. And the guy calls me and he talked about it, and he says, I said, and I didn't know that they're building a new stadium because I don't follow that much. And he said, I said, well, it's a really cool stadium. I really liked it. It was really nice and modern. He said, well, we're going to be building a new one because this one is old. I'm like, okay. That's the first I had heard that they're building a new one.
Yeah. Now there can't be a lot of pluses with having a new one. No, you're instantly probably going to be considered. They'll probably get a Super Bowl there probably before too long.
Well, that's what they're saying. That's what my pastor.
You're going to get a decent money in your buddy
the church
back
I
just from the
attend
Super Bowl.
Is we're in East Nashville, which is not far, and we've got a new block building a whole new church because we're busting at the seams. Legacy Church, we have 3 services every Sunday morning. And like Easter, you couldn't get in. I mean, it was packed because everybody, Easter is the big Sunday. We had 4 services on Easter, and we're building a new auditorium. And parking is horrible. Parking there is horrible. It's in a residential area, and you got to park in front of people's homes. And now people are putting out little orange cones in front of their house if they don't want you to park on the street in front of their house. I mean, do they own that street? I mean, you could argue that. Like, if we put cones out in front of our house here,
you can't do that. You can't do that.
We respect it. You respect it. So we don't park if you put the cones out, and then you got to walk. You got to walk probably a third of a mile to get to it. And so the new place is going to be twice the capacity, and it's going to have a parking garage on it. So parking is going to be wonderful. Instead of 400 seat, it's going to be 800 seat. And it's going to be really close to the new stadium. And Pastor was talking about, I mean, it's a prime location. And he did say, yeah, we'll definitely have a Super Bowl there one day soon. Brand new stadium, I guess.
Are y'all going to utilize the parking garage to just sell to rent to? Y'all could bring in some revenue.
I have no idea. I'm not on the committee for that. I have no idea. It hasn't even been built yet. We're still raising the money, or they did raise the money, but it's going to take a while to get it built. So I suppose you could rent out the parking garage on Sundays. I suppose, I don't know, but the game is always on Sunday. So unless it's a Thursday night game or a Monday night game, I suppose.
Oh yeah. So just like Thursday or Sunday, yeah. Of course. What am I thinking? And then any other events or something, but yeah. But so it's just a few miles from downtown there.
I guess. I mean, the address. I didn't look it up, but the current church is probably about 3 or 4 miles from Nissan Stadium, but the new one is going to be even closer.
Even closer. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Just an entire block. There. It's an entire block. Was a funeral home and some other things. They already had a building there. Apparently, there is a church there, a small church on that block, and that was where they were meeting first until they outgrew that. And now it's the office, I guess, for all the pastors and everything. And so they already own part of that block, and now they bought the rest of the block, and it was a sweet deal. I mean, Lord's favor. It was a funeral home, and it was a very sweet deal, probably below market.
Well, that's something you probably don't hear about being a sweet deal when it comes to downtown Nashville.
Yeah,
everything is so expensive.
The Lord abides. The Lord will make a way. So,
not only the dude, the Lord.
Not only the dude.
All right, guys. Well, I think that should do it for our podcast. Unless you have anything else to add, Tim, before we wrap it up. Another excellent podcast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it on this Tuesday. Nice warm Tuesday. Guys, we will see you next time. If you're not following us on Facebook or YouTube, we're also on Spotify, Apple. Feel free to follow us. We thank you guys for watching, listening. Please share the podcast on Facebook if you're able to. That really helps us out. And we will see you guys next time.